The standard definition you'll pull out of Wikipedia for what money is it's something that is durable. You can tell that it's not counterfeited. You can split it up into a bunch of parts. You have some hope that it maintains its value. It's scarce. So scarce, divisible, durable, that's all fine and good. But what we've seen is that everything that people call monies today suck. They're terrible. They have basically lifespans of 50 years, which are fiat currencies. They all go to zero over time. They print them out of thin air, which steals from savers. It causes boom and bust cycles of misinvestment and mall investment. You give the money to the wrong people, it empowers a military-industrial complex. They don't have to pass war taxes, so they go and blow people up constantly with money that was stolen from the people, but people don't realize it stole from them. And then I've got unique takes on this that other people have never heard of before, which is why I'm a thought leader. So imagine a world where you've driven up all the prices by printing money out of thin air, stealing all the value from the money people tried to save. Now they have to pay capital gains tax if they sell something because it has fake gains on paper, and you tax them on the theft. So first you steal the money of their value, then you tax them because the fake value went up on the quote gains. And then if their wages, if they magically get wages, it kicks them into higher income tax brackets. It's a huge giant racket. And Bitcoin is better than fiat, but let's say, could we pick a weaker target? No, we could not. So while Bitcoin is better than fiat, it hasn't been better than Tesla stock. It hasn't been better than my Rolexes since you reached the top of the S-curve. Since every scumbag venture capitalist has more Bitcoin than you'll ever have in your entire life. The people that hacked Bitfinex had $2 billion of Bitcoin. Draper's got billions. Winklevi has billions. Chamath has billions. Do Kwon of the stablecoin UST just pumped the price this week, and he's buying $2 billion and already executed a purchase for $1.5 billion. And so if you can get the accounting to be more efficient with less middlemen, with less counterparty risk. So for instance, Bitcoin doesn't address stablecoins, which people desperately need, and it doesn't address them, so they have to go somewhere else. Bitcoin doesn't address other tokens, which people desperately need. So if you want an affinity token or you want to monetize your audience, you can do that with NFTs or other mechanisms on Ethereum, which is why you see hundreds of thousands of users on Ethereum that will never use Bitcoin ever. They need higher throughput finality.
How's the NFTs going for people?
I hate NFTs. I think they're disgusting. But the fact that they get them into the game so that they might buy something good is better than them buying GME meme stock, which is what's being shoved down their throat currently. What's being shoved down everyone's throats currently is margin trading. FTX buys all the ads. They want you to get wrecked margin trading on a side bet where no one has to buy real Bitcoin. They just make all the money on the side bet house. Same with eToro. eToro at the top of their website says, that's right. eToro at the top of their website says 67% of people lose with us. And it's misleading because the people that lose more than the people that win. And they have all the ads on all the race cars and all the sports games. And the guys that have the real honest projects that save the users, we can't buy ads. There's three parties that get to change the Bitcoin network. Exchanges, people that accept it, and the miners, and kind of the software guys. And these four guys argue about what's going to happen to the network. And as proof that what I'm saying is 100% true, I will introduce you to something called the hard fork. Do you know why it's called hard? Because it is not backwards compatible. And if you do not upgrade your client, you don't get to run transactions. So sometimes you have soft forks. So for instance, they figured out a way to do SegWit as a soft fork. But then you have other things like Taproot, which I don't think was a soft fork. I think Taproot might have been a hard fork. And if you didn't enjoy that hard fork, there were definitely hard forks in the past, like, oh, we had 6 billion extra Bitcoin. Let's pretend that script didn't happen. And by the way, I hear you talk trash about the Bitcoin Cash guys. A Bitcoin Cash developer caught the last mint as many free Bitcoin as you want bug and responsibly disclosed it instead of minting as many free Bitcoin as he wanted, which the devs lied about and said was a denial of service bug until they had the patch released. And then they're like, oh, actually, by the way, it was also a consensus bug. Anyone could have minted as many free Bitcoin as they wanted. So let's take DeFi, decentralized finance, usually 100% scam in its term. It's usually not decentralized at all because you need to be able to go to a front end and actually use the front end when stuff goes wrong. And most decentralized projects aren't actually decentralized. There's admin keys, and there's one front end run by one guy, and if that guy turns it off, everyone's screwed until they go write a new one. So if I die and hex.com goes offline and go.hex.com goes offline, there's 5 other teams that independently, totally unrelated to me, built their own front ends and their own hardware and their own direct ledger integrations, their own direct Trezor integrations. All that stuff was done at launch We had full, sufficient decentralization at launch. And let me teach you something else about decentralization. There's something called just-in-time decentralization. So let me give an example. Infura went down. Did Ethereum go down? No. Do you know why? Because we were ready for it. You literally click in MetaMask a single box that says network, you click add, and then you copy paste someone else's node in there. You can run your own node if you want, but you don't have to. There's 10 other guys that have their own nodes running. So let me give you more proof. EOS has 21 nodes. Have they been going down? BSC has 21 nodes. Have they been going down? Everyone is centralized out the yin-yang in low double digits because it's more than enough, because regulatory attacks aren't occurring. And if regulatory attacks were occurring, we would use the social consensus to change the proof of work or change the number of validators or change which validators were valid. The same way if the Bitcoin, if the government decided to impede the 5 guys that'll sell you a Bitcoin miner, of which maybe 2 or 3 could possibly be profitable, if the government decided to strike those guys down, you could do a proof of work change, which is the same proof of work change that you should already have written, as Ethereum has, because the EU almost shut you guys down last week. The EU almost made proof of work illegal last week. You do not, if you want to earn yield in Hex, you can buy Hex from the hundreds of thousands of people that have it, lock it up and earn yield. But if you want to earn yield in Bitcoin, you got to suck 2 or 3 companies' D's to beg them for a mining hardware machine and hope they send it on time. Certain aspects of my system are vastly more decentralized. They're furthermore more secure, which is why we've never had an inflation bug. Ethereum's never had an inflation bug. Hex has never had an inflation bug, but you guys have had 2. I say to my devs, hey devs, we're doing the world's largest airdrop. We're giving everyone a free copy of everything on the Ethereum network, every single coin, free copy, and then we're incentivizing people with a token to bridge in liquidity to back their PRC20 to ERC20 value, okay? You know what would be awesome? It would be awesome if we didn't have to give any coins to those scumbag exchanges that steal everyone's money, rob everyone's money, don't give the users their money. It's disgusting. When the Bitcoin Mt. Gox founder was given free Bitcoin Cash, he just dumped them. I don't want to see people getting dumped on to enrich these bastards that are centralizing everything. So I asked my devs, I'm like, hey devs, can we just not give PRC20s to these addresses that we know are exchanges? And they're like, actually no, it's actually really hard, because these contracts have interdependencies with all these other contracts and they're their own isolated things. And whereas we can edit the Ethereum balances and reduce by 1.2 million X the amount that the original Ethereum holders get. So like Vitalik's got 300,000 Ethereum, he's only gonna get like $30 of free Pulse. Everybody else is sacrificed for charity, right? They're gonna get tons more free Pulse because it's in a different ledger basically. And so there's things like, and then other people, some guy said, hey, Richard, all those coins that were sent to the address that are locked there forever, like if you send an ERC20 directly to the contract address, usually it's lost forever. No one can ever access it. There are very few exceptions where there's admin keys like Tether or Circle can use their admin keys to just invalidate those coins that would have otherwise been locked forever and then hook the user up and give them to the user with, I don't know, AML, KYC or whatever. But on real coins that don't have admin keys like mine, I can't change anything. It's just locked forever. When Ethereum decided to make some changes that I didn't like in the network, I knew that I had to create a whole new network because I couldn't edit or change anything in the original network. It's immutable, it's unchangeable.